So 2024 comes in. We were 3 months down into our timeline. We were told within 1 year, this project was broken out into 4 phases originally. And we were told like 4 major sprints. And we were told like, okay, 1 year this thing can be released. And the way we had our contract structured is that you finish sprint 1, which is the first 25% of the project, and you get paid for the work for sprint 1. Well, they tried to release sprint 1 to us and we started penning it and noticed that a lot of stuff wasn't making sense. And, I had started to have concerns earlier on because 3 months turned into 6 months, which turned into 7, 8 months. And then 8 months in and sprint 1 wasn't complete. And there still was things that weren't checked off on the list, like animations. And we were like, okay, we don't have any animations. How do you plan to tackle that forward? And they had used the wrong framework and had lied to us, telling us they had used one framework when really we found out it was a different framework. They had ended up using WPF, which is a pathetic excuse for a framework. They hid behind it, telling us they used a different type of framework, and the software just wouldn't work. It wasn't going to be able to continue to be built. They were juicing us for a paycheck, and it ended up being a company that just basically scams other companies. And after doing a whole bunch of like really deep diving, because they hit it very well, we had looked at reviews, we had looked at companies they had worked with in the past. Everything checked out so properly at the beginning. But once we really dove in, we started calling some of these companies and talking to them and being like, we left that review up and then our contract didn't allow us to update the review. And they had ended up becoming just this company that was scamming people. They didn't know what they were doing. They hired really bad developers. So we had to scrap the project. Thankfully, we didn't have to pay them anything because of our contract. We caught them in lies. We jumped into meetings that they didn't know we were there because we kept our cameras off and we kept our mics muted and changed our names. And we had heard them lying about the project in meetings, which we had recorded. We used that to show them the proof that like, we know what you guys are up to. You're fired. And that was that. And so we lost a bunch of time there. And it was just this frustrating experience where we were like, okay, well, there goes 6 months of our time. Thankfully, we didn't have to pay anything, but I was still paying the salary of, this small dev team that we had on our side for 6 months. So there was some money wasted there. And, we had lost 6 months. And at this point, we're like, all right, back to square one. What are we doing?